Hi! So, I'm back. Have you missed me? I've missed me. Anyway. So, I've been dealing with a lot of mental issues the past year, but I'm back and I'm ready to take this seriously again, starting with making a dent in my work pile and finishing 4 paintings that have been laying around for far too long. So, let's finish them and see how it goes. The first one is a quick painting of a child watering some plants in their own secure greenhouse thingy. I had an overall idea very clear to me as I started sketching, so actually making the sketch was no problem. I also decided to put most effort into the line art and the details since I, by this point, still was fresh back on the game, so to speak. I hadn't really sketched or painted seriously for about 2 months before I did this one. When the sketch and line art was done, I decided to make the colors as simple as possible. In other words, I didn't color in everything, but instead made like an overlay of simple colors and decided to put most effort into the lights and shadows. I knew the overall effect that I wanted. I had a clear picture in my mind, so I just went for it. This way I got a piece that I'm very satisfied with, without working far too many hours on it to make it perfect in every detail, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. Next is a rather delicate piece of fan art that also was very spontaneous, but I wanted to include it because this was one of those random paintings I did where I realized that, hey, whoa, I'm getting back into it again. Neat. This is a fan art of Spock and Bones from Star Trek. Yes, I happen to be a Trekkie now, who would have known? It's also an experiment in poses, since it's inspired by this particular pose here. I have like a million of those pictures and poses saved on my Pinterest page that I want to try out, because drawing different poses from photos is fun. Also hard, but fun. Also, hey, it's Pride Month. Why not celebrate with a gay hug between an alien and his human doctor? Am I right? I struggled a lot with this piece. The poses were hard and never felt right, and I tried to paint it and failed miserably. So the next day I fixed the anatomical mistakes that I saw with fresh eyes, and then I tried another approach to the coloring by not color it at all. Just give it some shadows and highlights, and it worked perfectly. I'm really happy with this also in the end, actually. Even though I know it's wonky as hell, but hey, I'm still learning. The next one is, oh boy, this is probably the oldest one. I started this one sometime in 2020, like in November, but I never finished it until now. I wanted to experiment with another style, but I also quickly realized that I get really bored when I try different styles, so it got delayed and I put it aside a lot. I eventually came back to it in April and May of this year, and I realized that I actually liked this a lot more if I hid the line art layer. So then began my journey on making it look good and stand out without the line art. This was also the last piece I finished, because no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't figure out how to save it in the end. The dark blue pieces were a start, but then I got stuck until I tried a color shift and boom, there it was. Make it black and white to figure out the correct contrast, fix the colors a bit, and wouldn't you know, I love the finished result. Okay, last one. And this one was a struggle, as everything always is when I'm drawing, only slightly joking. This was honestly one of the first sketches I ever did that was Star Trek themed, back in like August of last year. I really wanted to use this theme that was Discovery from my 100 theme challenge that I'm doing this year to include the characters finding a planet that had sort of exploded or similar and being like, whoa.
And I don't care if people see.
It being one of my first Star Trek pieces is very clear if you look closely at the characters. I had no idea how to draw anyone yet. I hadn't even gone through all of the original series at this point. I was a very fresh Trekkie.
And carry on into the morning light. And I don't care who sees.
Also, I absolutely realized that I could have made fan art of Star Trek Discovery. There's actually a series that is called that because of the theme. But one, I honestly didn't know that there existed a Star Trek Discovery when I started this piece, so okay. And two, I still to this day haven't seen any episode of Discovery. I'm very far behind on my Trek watching. So, moving on. This was absolutely an environmental and backgrounds practice. I desperately need to practice more stuff like this. In the end, I'm happy with it, though I realized that I could shift the colors to make another piece with a light blue hue instead, and I kinda like that one even more. So in the end, I saved both versions, because why not? And that was that! Here are all the finished pieces. Thank you for following me on my journey of cleaning up my workspace a bit and finishing off some paintings that desperately need finishing. There will be more videos like this because I still have a lot of pieces left in my 100 theme challenge that I would love to finish up before this year ends, as well as some animation practices and animation memes that will come eventually. I have plans for this channel and it feels really great to be back. Love you all and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!